Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 17 of What If Naruto Was a Smart Prodigy. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was the Asusuke King, and enjoy that guys. And I also post a new episode of What If Naruto pushed himself to his limit on this channel. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And later on, I'm going to be posting a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was a Badass Genius. So stay tuned for that and I hope you guys enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support guys, and yeah. What do you say without further ado, we begin this new episode. Start the intro. So the last time we left off, Rumi came to Konoha to talk to Tsunade about a proper alliance, as Naruto was out there along with Yujito as they met Mei, Kojiro and Ayo. After some talking, they were escorted towards the luxurious hotel in Konoha to stay for the night until tomorrow. As that was going on, a snake appeared at Konoha in Naruto's apartment, but he was killed by Danzo. As Danzo didn't want Sasuke message to reach Naruto, he wanted Orochimaru to take over Sasuke's body, and with Orochimaru's help he can take over Konoha, and the Uchiha won't be a problem in his way. And with this Uchiha body, Orochimaru could kill Naruto and get that nuisance out of his way as well. Next day, Danzo was in the office with Tsunade, and the way she spoke, it looked like she knows something, but how could she? So he simply brushed it off until Naruto and Yujito came into the room, as Naruto gave the man a slight glare, as it would be too late because it would take some time for them to head towards Orochimaru's hideout if they were going to help the Uchiha, so they wouldn't make it in time. Meanwhile, Sasuke was poisoned by Orochimaru, as it was Kabuto who created the poison, as Orochimaru placed a seal on him to weigh him down while he was about to take over his body. Danzo was walking down the corridor as they were going to speak to Rumi when he saw ink right on the ground, as the ink rag burst and left a message behind, saying that that's not the real Naruto. As Danzo turned and saw, Naruto gave him a slight smirk, as Danzo realized it was a wood clone. Meanwhile, Naruto arrived with Kojiro and Haku as they went to save Sasuke, as they knocked away Orochimaru before he could take over Sasuke's body. And there was another black-haired girl there as well, along with Sakura after Sakura healed the poison in Sasuke's system. It was Kurosaki, as both she and Sasuke shared a kiss, as Sakura cleared her throat, as they have something to do right now. As Kurosaki looked embarrassed, while Sasuke sent them off to find Orochimaru's specimens that they think they will need. That was Karin, Jugo, and Shigetsu. When Sasuke arrived to the scene, he saw Naruto facing off against his father. His mother was there as well, as Naruto sealed away his father, as his mother was a very strong kunoichi. She was a Jonin after all, and after all the things she went through, her eyes have developed over the years, but she settled down to become a housewife once Sasuke was born. So she was very strong indeed, as Orochimaru brought back Kushina. The both women working together started to face off against Naruto and Sasuke as they were defeating them to some extent. But Naruto and Sasuke was holding back, as their body was just holding back because they didn't want to fight their mothers. They wanted to spend some time to talk to them before Orochimaru could escape a boot connected with his face, as he was sent flying through the wall. It was from Jiraiya, as Jiraiya already in sage mode. He'd have to thank Naruto for that, as he's finally a perfect sage. As he turned towards Orochimaru, who entered snake sage mode, the both of them started a battle, as Jiraiya was kind of surprised. How did Orochimaru have his arms? Meanwhile, Mikoto activated her Mangita Sharingan as she stepped in her Susanoo, as Kushina steals some of the fox chakra from Naruto as she was cloaked, as Naruto activates his KCM, as Sasuke stepped inside of it and placed Susanoo around it with an armor, as the two groups rushed towards each other, as Orochimaru told Jiraiya that he's the reason why he has his arms. We then go into a flashback, as it was when Naruto and Jiraiya was on their training trip, as they went towards a temple where the mask was, the Shinigami mask, as the Shinigami stabbed himself in the stomach after Naruto released the steel, as Naruto collapsed over because a huge gaping wound was in his stomach as well, but he was in sage mode so he healed rather fast, as Naruto unsealed the previous Hokage's soul so they can pass on to the afterlife, and also he released the other half of Kurama. As Naruto went into his mindscape to see the other half, he was darker than the original Kurama, as he said yo. So yeah guys, that was basically last part we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check out for yourself. So, what do you say we begin this new episode? Yo, Naruto turned to see another Kurama, but this one had darker fur. So this is Naruto. A pleasure to meet you, he said. Naruto looked the second Kurama up and down. How do you already know about me, Naruto asked. The darker Kurama pointed toward the regular Kurama. So you guys already sync or something? It's been like 3 seconds since you got near, Naruto said. Both of them looked at Naruto with a deadpan expression. You do realize that the human brain processes things to a rate unimaginable to comprehend. Meaning that ours in here is barely a second in the real world, said Kurama, as Naruto nodded as he understood. Forgot about that, Naruto said. Anyway, this is going to be creepy. Are there really going to be two of you in my head? As he then blinked and noticed one of them only standing there. What the hell just happened? Did you guys merge or something? You're kidding me, right? How did it Oh, never mind. The time thing, right? Also, you got big. I mean really huge. This was my actual size before your father took the yin half of my chakra. Now I'm back to normal and I feel damn good. Wonderful for that matter. But now, you must go back to the real world. You still have work to finish. As Naruto was ejected from his mind. What? I didn't know he could eject me from my own mind, Naruto said. Maybe it's because he got stronger because the other half of chakra is back. As Naruto noticed Jiraiya looking at him. Oh yeah, right, that was the yin half of Kurama that dad stole in the Kyuubi attack. And Kurama is a lot bigger and stronger now, by the way. Anyway, being that these are the souls of the 4 previous Hokage, and Orochimaru has DNA and know the Edo Tensei, we will have to seal them, just in case we manage to reincarnate them somehow, with one of his lackeys or anything. Sounds good, kid, but weren't there 6 of those floaty soul things? If you absorb one, and there is no 4 here, where did the other one go? Naruto shrugged, beats me. All I know is that the 4 are what's the matter now, Naruto said. By the way, are you buying lunch, Naruto asked. Jiraiya looked at him. You still have the sealing process to do, right? Yeah, Naruto said. Last one to the restaurant pays, Jiraiya said, as he ran off leaving Naruto. You cheater, Naruto shouted. End of the flashback. That extra soul there, they were your arms, Jiraiya said. Since your actual soul is here, meaning that it was drawn back to it. So we couldn't have done anything to stop it, Jiraiya said. Yes indeed, Orochimaru said that smile. How incredible of him to find those for me. I've been looking for it since Tsunade turned me down all those years ago. And your sage mode isn't the only one that allows others' abilities. I can add life to inanimate objects. As Jiraiya felt the entire place start to shake, as the floor and walls start to liquefy. Sage art. Inorganic reincarnation, said Orochimaru, as the room started to spin out in an effort to attack Jiraiya. Jiraiya quickly leaped away. You can't get away, Jiraiya. I own this room now. This is my territory, Orochimaru said. Jiraiya jumped high in the air as he nodded. That's impressive, I can't lie, he said, as he bit his thumb, as he went through hand sign. Summoning Jutsu. A large poof of smoke surrounded Jiraiya as the room spikes went towards the cloud to attack him. But the room was being fought back from Jiraiya and 2 small toads on his shoulder. Sage art, bat of boiling oil, as he was blowing out a stream of oil from his mouth, with the toad on his right shoulder releasing flames and the toad on his left shoulder releasing wind, as they incinerated everything in their path. As the room reverted back to normal, as Orochimaru quickly leaped away as he landed on the wall. The moment he landed, he was met with a giant ball of chakra. Ultra big ball Rasengan, Jiraiya said, as he thrust the jutsu forward, as it smashed right into Orochimaru, as he was sent colliding back down into the boiling oil down beneath them, as Jiraiya looked down to see Orochimaru's body melting apart. "So, you're going to finally finish it, Jiraiya boy?" asked Pa. As Jiraiya nodded, whack, the toad smacked him across the face. "Why did you hit me?" Jiraiya asked. The toad looked at him. "Didn't me and Mom told you to finish this all those years ago? But you wait until this long to do it." Another whack. "Why are you guys hitting me?" "Pa's right," said Ma. "You should have taken care of this years ago. Now we have to deal with this creepy guy now." "This is all your fault," Ma said, as Jiraiya nodded. "Don't worry, we'll fix it today. Orochimaru will be dead by the end of this battle." Whack, whack. The both of them punched him in the face. "Are you both done now? Can we get on with hitting Orochimaru rather than me?" Jiraiya asked. "Okay, let's do this," the two-toad said, as Orochimaru regurgitated another of himself. Well guys, I'm at a loss here. He is continuously drawing in siege mode while moving. Since the both of you are on my shoulder, I will not run out of it either. But he can just regurgitate another one of himself. Pa said. Genjutsu. As he looked towards Ma. "I suppose you're right. Yes, Jiraiya boy, that is the only way. Jiraiya boy, we'll need some time, so stall him as long as possible." Jiraiya nodded as Jiraiya looked over at Orochimaru. "So, Rochi," he said, as Orochimaru eyed Twitch at a nickname. "How are you gathering Senjutsu while on the move? That has to be the most impressive thing I ever seen, despite how fast Naruto can enter Sage mode, and the length at which he can sustain it just on one juice up. That punk kid of yours knows Senjutsu as well. I'll have to make sure he's dead by the end of this," Orochimaru said. "But this is a power I assimilated from an experiment of mine. Jugo is his name and his body naturally attract Senjutsu. It's quite impressive. Cultivating those cells into myself was quite a brilliant move on my part. I can stay in Sage mode whether I move or not. But no more stalling, I will kill you and those toads on your shoulder." As Orochimaru picked up his blade, as he sprinted back up the wall towards Jiraiya. Jiraiya breathed out a large stream of fire, as Orochimaru breathed out a large stream of water, as steam covered the area. Jiraiya then ducked the sword strike that would have cut him right into two, as he then leaped away, as Orochimaru released flurries of slashes and cuts, trying to cleave off Jiraiya's head, as Jiraiya was dodging each and every strike. As Orochimaru thrust his sword forward, Jiraiya tilted his body, but Orochimaru slammed a feet right in Jiraiya's face and sent him sailing back. Orochimaru then extended his Kusanagi blade as he teared right through Jiraiya, but he poofed away. Orochimaru wasn't surprised at Shadow Clone, because he knew it would take more than that to kill Jiraiya. "You may be a fool, Jiraiya, but I will respect your skills as a shinobi," Orochimaru said. As Orochimaru heard chuckling, as Jiraiya came out from the ground. I must say, I'm pretty damn good myself. I guess you're right to respect my skills," Jiraiya said. Orochimaru chuckled. "I can see those toads on your shoulder. They're building up for something. Why not ruin their concentration?" As Orochimaru held his hand in the bird seal, Sage Art, White Rage Technique, a dragon-like entity came out of Orochimaru's mouth that was carrying a blue orb. Jiraiya was prepared for the fast-paced dragon and put his hands up to block. However, the dragon stopped as it coiled around itself. The blue orb started to glow bright as it let out a deafening sound. "Damn it," Jiraiya said as they all felt it. "This jutsu is not only meant to constrict your senses and visions and hearing, it's also create temporary paralysis. My bones feel like they're grinding against each other." As he noticed Orochimaru sprinting towards him, how can he handle this environment? Orochimaru chuckled. "A snake has the ability to close off the cornea in their eyes. The light doesn't bother me. Since I've assimilated the abilities of Suigetsu's clan, my body can handle the intense vibration caused by the noise. I am the only one that can move in this condition." Orochimaru then struck Jiraiya with several deadly blows, as Orochimaru snakes an extend from his sleeve and grabbed the toads and bit down into their necks. As Jiraiya was still on the ground, some of the snakes went over and wrapped around him. But Orochimaru then felt something was wrong. When he blinked, he realized he was trapped in a cube of water. Looking to his left and right, he noticed he was surrounded by giant 4 toads. "Is this Genjutsu?" "But how?" he said. Jiraiya chuckled as he grabbed one of the swords from the stone toads. Well, these toads have been sage toads for a long time, and in that time they learned Demon Illusion Toad Confrontation Chan, a very powerful genjutsu. that immobilized anyone in the sound of their croak. Orochimaru's eyes widened as he realized he heard those croaks when he finished off Jiraiya. But I am a sage. The influx of Senjutsu should cancel all Genjutsu placed on me, as Orochimaru was scared for his life in what seemed like a very long time. While that is true, Genjutsu doesn't work on a sage. Regular Genjutsu, however, this is a Senjutsu enhanced Genjutsu, and it affects you. As he placed the sword over Orochimaru's heart, I would love to continue this chat, but this is long overdue, and I have no more words. Well, I beat you, old friend. Now goodbye. No, this can't be. I am immortal, Orochimaru said. I will not go. But Jiraiya drive the sword straight down his heart. Meanwhile, with Naruto and Sasuke versus Mikoto and Kushina, the orange chakra Kurama was heading straight towards the yellow Susanoo. I know how to deal with the Susanoo, Naruto said. Wood style, wooden dragon technique. As a large wooden dragon came from the ground and wrapped around Mikoto's Susanoo, paralyzing her for the moment. Sasuke leaped out of Naruto Fox mode. Fire style, great flame destruction, as his chest puffed up for his jutsu as he released it. As Mikoto shook her head, this is Susanoo, Sasuke-chan. Despite being weakened by this dragon, you won't be able to get through it with that fire jutsu. But the ground then started to shake as Kushina quickly leaped away. As Mikoto was surprised now wooden tentacle grabbed her arm from beneath the ground, as she was pulled out of her Susanoo right in front of Sasuke as he released the intense flames. But Kushina immediately created a seal on the ground as the flames were sucked straight down into it. Fire sealing method, said Kushina, as the seal turned black once she was finished. She then put her hand in Tiger Seal. Release, she said, as the fire was heading back now towards Sasuke. Wood style, wood expulsion technique, as a large wooden dragon head came from the ground and covered both Naruto and Sasuke, shielding them from the flames as the flames exploded upon the wood dragon head. Once the flame died down, the dragon reverted back into the ground. Seems like Naruto is done playing around. I can barely keep up, said Mikoto. As Kushina nodded, here comes another one. Wood style, native to seal trees, Naruto said, as a torrent of trees spring from the ground as they started to surround the entire place heading towards Kushina and Mikoto. The two of them started to dodge until they landed on one as they stopped. Sasuke and Naruto appeared in front of their own mother as they began a fast taijutsu battle. As Sasuke sent Mikoto sailing away as he looked on his body. This chakra from Naruto Bichu made me incredibly faster and stronger. As he headed off into the trees to find his mother and finish his fight. Meanwhile, Kushina held out her hand as she thrust it towards Naruto as she counted on him appearing there. But Naruto grabbed her fist like nothing as a chain came from her back trying to stab Naruto. But a branch burst from the tree and stopped it. Kushina smiled, realizing that her son was not taking it any easy anymore as two clones poofed beside of him. The first one grabbed her hand and flipped her around in the air as the second one drove a punch into her stomach as the real Naruto grabbed her feet and slammed her right into the tree. Meanwhile, Mikoto sent out several fire dragons at Sasuke. As Sasuke went through hand sign, Shidori current, he said, as he deflected the dragons, as he never stopped going towards Mikoto. As Mikoto then looked at him, as she muttered a single word, Tsukiyomi, as her eyes started to spin, but she then felt something rip right through her chest. I'm sorry, Mom, said Sasuke, as she had a smile on her face. She wanted this battle to come to an end and she didn't want to hurt her son. But it seemed like Naruto Kyuubi chakra can break this genjutsu. It's okay, Sasuke, she said. Before you seal me away, I am sure you want to know what happened the night of the massacre. Sasuke's eyes narrowed. What? What do you mean, he said, as Mikoto was slowly breaking apart because of Sasuke's hand through her chest. Itachi probably won't tell you because if it's like an extract mission, and you probably have some kind of plan. However, I feel that you need to know. Plus, I want to hear your answer. As Sasuke listened to his mother's final words. Meanwhile, Kushina was being restrained by Naruto 2 clones as they were holding her. It's over, Mom, Naruto said, as the tree opened slightly, causing her to go halfway down into it before locking her into place. As Naruto clones then morphed into the tree, becoming branches as they held her arm down. As the Kyuubi chakra around her was absorbed by the tree, as she was left helpless. My sweet Naruto-chan, she said, as Naruto let his cloak disappear, realizing all he had to do now was seal his mother away. I don't know what to say. So, I'll just leave you with this. I am so glad that you grew up into a healthy young man. I am happy that you have grown up and have a friend like Sasuke. And if you have found one, I hope you find a girl just like your mother. And finally, I am happy that you were born to me and Minato that day. You're everything we could have hoped for and more. And I love you, she said. A few tears started glistening in her eyes as he wiped them away before they could even fall. You're right, Mom, I've grown up well. Mainly thanks to Sir Toby, even Jiraiya, and Snadibachan. They all helped me, Naruto said. And you're right, I did make good friends. Great friends, really. And there is a girl, Naruto said, who I am currently smitten with. I even told her I loved her, Naruto said. And don't worry, she's just as headstrong as you are, Mom. I wish you two could have met. I'm sure you'd have liked her. Kushina smiled with tears forming in her eyes. So, you don't blame us? She asked. I could have let Minato live. You could have a father to grow you, but There is no need, Mom. It's not like we can go back and change the past, he said. I'm happy. I'm happy to know that I was loved by my parents. And I now know it for sure. I may have not been able to meet you when I was little, but I know that you are a beautiful, amazing woman, Naruto said. And I love you as well, Mom. Kushina's eyes returned back to normal. Relief of the Edo Tensei as her body started to glow. As Naruto realized the Edo Tensei was ending, his soul wanted to rest. As she was free, she walked over to him as she pulled him into a hug. Be safe, Naruto-chan, she said, as her soul started to come out of the body, floating in the air. And I expect a lot of grandkids. Naruto blushed a serious shade of red while crying at the same time as her soul vanished. As Naruto could make out Mikato's body disappearing over there, as he forced off the trees to recede back down to the ground. As Naruto vanished and appeared beside Sasuke, his mother now gone. You okay? Yeah, I just need a moment, Sasuke said. As Naruto nodded and walked away to give Sasuke a moment to cope. Naruto, said Kurama. Do you feel that other present in the room with Jiraiya? As Naruto's senses spread out. That's Jiraiya Sensei. Pa and Ma are there. But who's that? It's him, said Kurama. With that, Naruto dashed off, leaving Sasuke. Meanwhile, so you're who again? Jiraiya asked, as a man was there in a Akatsuki cloak with an orange mask covering his face. Hi, I'm Toby, said the masked man as he looked at Jiraiya. But why are you here? Jiraiya asked, the two soldiers still attached to his shoulders. Toby was about to answer when Naruto appeared with a massive Rasengan as he drove it down straight towards Toby. The explosion from the Rasengan died down as Naruto was standing there all alone. Naruto, what's going on? Asked Jiraiya, as Naruto quickly turned to see Toby sliding up from the floorboards. That was so fast, Naruto. You almost hit Toby with that jutsu. Luckily, Toby managed to slip and evade, said Toby as he made childish-like movements as he talked in that same childish voice. Who the hell is this guy? Why is he acting like such a kid? Jiraiya asked. Sasuke then came into view as well, as he wondered the same thing. He's the progenitor of all this, Naruto said. The reason why the Kyuubi attacked that night during my birth. The reason my parents died that night. Hearing that, Sasuke's eyes snapped towards Toby. And the reason the Uchihas were subjected towards scrutiny, leading to them wanting a coup, leading to their demise. He's the reason behind all of this. Huh. How smart of you, Senju, Toby said, as his voice turned deep and dark. I'm impressed. Did that pet inside of you tell you that? Kurama growled. The man just giving that same feeling as Madara. As Kurama started to spread his chakra, as Naruto's cloak turned even more orange, as the ground started to crack under the weight and the force. He did all of this? Sasuke asked, as Naruto nodded, without taking his eyes off Toby. Sasuke noticed that Orochimaru lay on the ground a few feet away, with a sword stabbed through his chest. Were you here to save him? Something like that. But then I remember his betrayal against me, and I had a change of heart. Plus, I was hoping that he would be injured enough, so I could simply take him and extract his bijou. But that didn't work out well, you see, said Toby. Well then, come fight me for it, Naruto said. Don't worry, Kyuubi, we shall meet again. I'll let one of my pawns deal with you first though. Until then, enjoy the little bit of time you have left in this world, Toby said. As he disappeared in a swirling vortex, Naruto, Jiraiya said as he could feel the power being leaked from Naruto. Calm down. Naruto slowly calmed himself down. Mind rushed on Yujito. Let's go home, he said. As Jiraiya turned towards Orochimaru's body to seal it away. Time skip, unknown location. The rain was pouring at a fast rate as a man stood outside watching the entire place. His red hair and his rippled eyes were gleaming down. Nagato, said Toby from behind the man. The Kyuubi Jinchuriki is more powerful than before. Are you sure you can handle this? Nagato turned. His eyes seemed to pulsate with just unbridled power. Once we captured 6, 7 and 8, I will handle the boy, no matter where he is. I am still a god. As 6 figures came to view behind him. We shall see, Nagato. But our plans, they will soon become a reality. Time skip. On the path to Konoha there was 9 people. Well, not necessarily the path, since they stopped for the night. In a clearing. A day out from Konoha. These 9 people were Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kurosaki, Haku, Kojiro, Shigetsu, Karin, and Jugo. Jiraiya left as he was needed elsewhere somewhere else, and technically, the last 3 were prisoners. Well, except for Shigetsu, he was a cool dude and not committed to Orochimaru, like Karin and Jugo are. The 4th member of the group, Kurosaki, she was actually in a fight with Naruto at the moment. I'll melt your ass, Namikaze, she said, as Naruto took off into the woods, as she did not know how he was related to Minato Namikaze, but from the looks, she could tell that he was related to him. Stories her grandfather told her, he matched it perfectly. As she was fuming, as Sasuke put a hand on her shoulder. It's okay, he's handling it now, said Sasuke, calming her down. That jerk is taking his sweet time, knowing that it was his time to get his firewood for camp. Then he made us draw straws. And he drew the smallest one and still, he hasn't done it yet. But wait a minute, she said. He's a Mokiton user, can't he just wood style? Serial pillar houses technique, Naruto's voice came out. As 7 perfect houses grew from the ground, surrounding the group. Once the houses stopped rising, Naruto smiled at his work. As Naruto stopped smiling immediately, as killing intent washed over him. You mean to tell me you could have done this all along? Said Kurosaki. We've been out here freezing for 10 minutes and you... As she lashed out, but Sasuke had to hold her back. As Sasuke managed to calm her down, she then grabbed him by the back of the shirt. Let's go, I'm frustrated. I need to release some of it, she said. As Sasuke was pulled into the house by the back of his shirt, as he gave Naruto a big thumbs up. As that happened, Sakura and Kojiro took Karin and Jugo into their own house, which was both more like prisons, truthfully. Once the prisoners were inside, a seal appeared on the outside, as the house sank back down to the ground, preventing them from escaping. As Sakura and Kojiro walked inside their respective houses, as Haku walked inside her house as well. As Shigetsu then turned towards Naruto. Naruto, he said. As Naruto turned towards him, Sasuke gave you a thumbs up while he was being dragged into the house. Are you telling me that all along that was an attempt to get him laid, just to get her frustrated? As Naruto nodded, something like that. As Shigetsu gave a shark-like grin, no, Naruto said, I'm not gonna be your wingman too. It's already bad enough that Kurosaki tried to kill me just now. And besides, Haku won't fall for that. You're probably right, said Shigetsu. Plus I don't really need it anyway. I have over a decade of tension between myself and her been building up. I've always wondered, Naruto said, how did you two met? Haku never tell me. She just called you her hero, and she thought that you were dead. When Sasuke told me that you were there with Orochimaru and I told her about you, she was so happy. What's the story behind you two? You know about the Bloodline War in Mizu, correct? As Naruto nodded. Great, then this will make it shorter. Haku happened to show off her Keiki Genkai one day, not knowing that it was a crime to have one, and her father saw it. Nor her father, not being a user of ice release, or any Keiki Genkai for that matter, immediately recognized that his wife was one of them. He goes crazy, killed her mother, and attempted to kill her. Luckily, she managed to panic and release her chakra at once, growing ice spikes that pierced right through him, killing him. That skewered the house and her father, but honestly, living was more of a hell for her. She lost both of her seconds in probably 10 seconds, and it was her fault by showing off her Genkai. She was delirious and depressed and on the verge of suicidal, until she found Yunar to ask. Shigetsu smiled and nodded. Yeah, found me, more so stumbled upon me with my big brother at the river. As we took notice of her and her state and brought her back to our house. She stayed with us for several months, and me and her became tight. She was my best friend before I even knew what that meant. It was all going great before Orochimaru showed up. Orochimaru kidnapped me after killing my big brother, who tried to protect us. The only reason he didn't get Haku because I pushed her into the river, and she managed to escape captured. So in essence, she can call me her hero. I talked her off the ledge, and we became best friends. And I managed to keep her from getting snagged by Orochimaru. I see why she calls you her hero. That's a nice story, man. As Naruto noticed Haku looking through the window. You better hurry. I can see she's waiting for you. As Shigetsu and Naruto boomed fists. As he went off, Naruto stayed outside for a little longer until he decided to head in his own house. The next morning, Naruto got outside as he noticed Sasuke just sitting down looking out of space. Hey, what's up, Naruto asked. You were right, Sasuke said. Oh, I knew that Kurosaki would want to do it. If I got her all riled up like that. I told you I'm the best wingman ever. Sasuke laughed slightly as he shook his head. Not about that. Then what, Naruto asked. About Itachi. As Sasuke told Naruto what happened, as his mother told him the real reason behind the massacre, about the coup and everything, and that Itachi did not kill everyone. There was someone there helping him. As Sasuke figured, after what happened, with Naruto seeing the masked man, he was the one that helped in the extermination of the clan. As Sasuke couldn't believe what Itachi went through. As his mother asked him what will he do, would he kill Itachi next time he see him? But Sasuke gave her answer as he told her no. She was surprised to hear how fast he said that. Naruto actually told him that there must be another reason behind the Uchiha massacre, as Sasuke now knew the other reason. After that, she told him that she loved him. After revealing that to him, it freed her from the Edo Tensei, as he shared a hug with his mother. Whoa, Naruto said after hearing what Sasuke just told him, as Naruto and Sasuke sat in silence for several minutes until they heard a voice behind them. Naruto-kun, Sasuke-san, we're all ready to head back, said Haku. Roger that, let's get back to Konoha, Naruto said. Nighttime, Konoha. Finally, said Katetsu. Our shift is almost over. Yeah, what a long day, said Izumo. Yeah, a long and boring day. As Izumo walked up and handed Katetsu his back. 2 more minutes and we're out of here. They noticed 9 people coming towards the village. Who's that, said Katetsu. As Izumo noticed it was Sakura and the Kiri ninjas and... Wait, is that Sasuke Uchiha? Said Katetsu. Sasuke has returned? As they noticed Naruto, as Naruto and Sasuke strolled past the gate, giving the guards a small wave. Kurosaki went unnoticed by the gate guards as she walked by Sasuke, as the others walked in as well without seeing that Naruto didn't stop at the gates as well with Sasuke. As Sakura placed on a mission scroll to show Izumo and Katetsu, as she then went to catch up with the others. Naruto then split from the group as he took Karen and Jugo towards the torture and interrogation building. Team Pen was walking out of a nearby barbecue restaurant as they noticed a group of 10 heading towards Hokage's tower. I wonder what those Kiri ninjas are doing out so late, and with Sakura no less. And now there's a Kunoichi from the stone, now here. What is Is that Sasuke? Said Shikamaru, as he was surprised, as he was dumbstruck like his 2 teammates, not knowing what was going on. I thought you said Sasuke left the village and was a traitor, said Ino, as she didn't know what to say as this was rather confusing. Shikamaru started to rack his brain around it, but there was only one thing he could say. Troublesome. We have to follow them and make sure they don't do anything. As the group was brought to the Hokage's office by the Secretary Shizune who let them in. As Tsunade smiled at Sasuke as Sasuke smiled back. I see you're all okay, said Tsunade, especially happy that Uchiha was safe. It was mainly her who allowed him to do such a dangerous mission, and she would have felt guilty if he did not make it back. Wait, where's Naruto? He'll be back soon. He took the 2 prisoners to the T&I department, said Sakura as they all finished walking to the room. Tsunade didn't notice 2 people in their office who she didn't expect. And you 2 would be, she said, looking at Kurosaki and Shigetsu. Tsunade Dono, said Kurosaki, as she gave a bow to the female Kage. I am Kurosaki, Jonin of the Stone, and granddaughter of the 30th Hokage. Tsunade nodded, but before she could say anything, hello Tsunade-sama. I am Shigetsu Hoshiki. I've been a prisoner for Orochimaru since I was 7, and now I'm finally freed. I'm not exactly necessarily a ninja. My allegiance go to those in Kiri. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you both. And seeing that you're not supposed to be here, she said, looking at Kurosaki, because this was rather strange. I wonder, why are you? She's here for me, Sasuke said. I wonder what's really going on, she said. I'll wait till Naruto get back and ask him, she thought, as she saw a look in Sasuke's eyes. That is fine then, just keep an eye on her. As she wondered where Naruto was so she can get a debriefing from her mission leader. A knock came at the door. Tsunade thought that Naruto was there and immediately let the person in, but it was Shizune. Tsunade-sama, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's a Lieutenant Crunch here to see you. He said it was a priority. Please, send him in. It's no need, thank you. I just remember I got a promotion yesterday. It's Captain Crunch now, the man said at the window, as everyone started to chuckle. as the man chuckled at the windowsill. Gotcha, Bachan. 1 point for Naruto Senju, he said as he jumped in the room, near to his team. Darn it, Brat, that was a good one. Using my favorite cereal against me. As she pulled out the boat that held the tallies of her and Naruto's game. Seems to have taken the lead now. Hey, Shikamaru, Choji, Ino. You guys can come in here and hear this, Naruto said, as he pointed at Team Tennis outside in a building, eavesdropping. Sorry, Hokage-sama, we were tailing Sasuke here, and we wonder why no one really cared that he left the village and just came back. We thought he might be trying something, Shikamaru said honestly, as him and his group stepped in the room. It's fine, it's expected. But let's let Naruto shed some light on the situation. Please go ahead and give us the details of your mission. Naruto nodded. Team Naruto returning back from their A-rank mission from the town. Mission status, success. My team and I headed out to the base where we located undercover agent Sasuke. Before proceeding to rescue him, there we met S-rank shinobi Orochimaru. But Jiraiya arrived and faced him before killing the snake Sanin. The team then scattered to gather the 3 important ninjas Sasuke found in his stay with Orochimaru, those being Shigetsu, Jugo, and Karin. Shigetsu is the last member of the Hoshiki clan. Karin is a Uzumaki from the samples gathered by Sasuke and analyzed in testing. The last one is Jugo. He is the originator of the cursed seal, and the only one who DNA can help. He removed it from the bodies of the Konoha shinobis with them. Afterwards, we successfully brought Sasuke back from his long-term mission, said Naruto. As Tsunade nodded. Wait, said Shikamaru. You mean all of this? Risking our life? Trying to get Sasuke back, all of this was a mission? As Tsunade could understand where Shikamaru was coming from, he and the 4 that were sent gave it their all, along with Neji coming back with critical damage. However, this was the life of the Hokage decision, and she made that plan with Orochimaru's death in the endgame. It was a long-term endgame though. I apologize, Shikamaru. It was a S-rank mission on a need-to-know basis. Even Naruto and Kakashi did not know, said Tsunade. As she added, why did you think Sasuke didn't officially become a missing nin? I thought that was just because of Naruto asking you not to, said Ino, as she then started to put the picture together. So Sasuke never really left the village and become a traitor. He was just doing a mission, a long mission that ended with the death of Orochimaru. Choji smiled as he realized all of that was a hoax, and Sasuke wasn't a traitor, like you think all those years ago. Shikamaru though was still a bit heated, as they weren't informed of this. Right, there is more to it that I'm sure you want to know, Shikamaru, but I have to finish another debriefing first. I will answer your questions tomorrow, Shikamaru, said Tsunade, getting everyone back on track. Thank you for that, Naruto. I will get your written report later. Those from Kiri, your Kage, and I have finished the talks, and you all will be heading back tomorrow. And you all are free to go, except for you, Sasuke. Everyone nodded as they left Tsunade's office as Naruto jumped through the window, as Sakura took Kurosaki to a local diner. As Sasuke then blew out a breath before giving out his mission debriefing, as it was protocol to make sure that he didn't change over the long time being with Orochimaru. With Naruto, after jumping through Tsunade's window, as he spread out his senses all over the village, as he then vanished. Hi Yuji-chan, he said, as he appeared behind Yujito, as she was sitting on top of the 4th Hokage's stone head. Hi Naruto-kun, she said. She then turned back. Naruto? As she leaped on him and placed in several kisses on his lips. You're back! I was so worried about you and I missed you also. Naruto smiled as he relished the feeling of being with her again. I missed you too. As he kissed her once more before they both sat up. Naruto then looked behind him as he saw 2 green blurs heading his way. Double dynamic entry! Shouted the 2 Konoha ninjas as they attacked Naruto. A wooden dome grew from the ground as it protected Naruto and Yujito as Guy and Lee attacked the dome wall. As the moment the both of them hit the wall, they felt intense pain in their leg as Naruto let the dome back down, as the both of them were on the ground hissing, holding their leg. As Guy and Lee rushed over. It's me guys, Naruto. As they checked him over, Guy grabbed him by the face. As they checked him, as Lee grabbed his leg, checking the rider measurements, looking if it was really him. The both of them then stopped as their teeth sparkle. It seems like Naruto is really back, said Lee to Guy, as Guy nodded. Indeed, Lee. It seems that we accomplished our task of protecting Yujito until he returned. Impressively, and there isn't even a hair out of place in our head. We have succeeded in our task. That means we only have 1,000 laps around Konoha to do. Let's get to it. The both of them took off, leaving a trail of dust in their way. As Naruto smiled at their disappearance, he turned to see Yujito, giving him a rather sweet smile. As Naruto gulped, Naruto-kun, she said, in a sweet tone, if you ever have to leave without me again, never leave me in care of those 2. Okay? She said. Sorry about that, I wanted to take you with me, but you had to stay for the peace talk. You're technically a voice and eye and ears when you're here. I understand, she said. Just never those two. Ever. Do you understand me? As Naruto nodded. So, wanna hear about my mission? As she nodded as well. The next morning, I'm telling you, double dating is a bad idea, said Naruto, as Yujito was in the kitchen as she was wearing a t-shirt that was so small the moment she moved it right up, as Naruto stared at her shamelessly. As she clapped her hands, snapping him from staring. How is double dating a bad idea, Naruto? Everyone said that you're amazing, she said, as she was in the kitchen making breakfast. No, only the winners of double dates think that, said Naruto, as Yujito was intrigued to what his explanation was. You see, on double dates, there is this competition that occurs, meaning that no matter the circumstances, we're going to compete with them. If the other couple kiss, we'll have to kiss or we'll seem like lesser couple. And then it will just keep on going and going, and it will never stop until the date is over. Then how else am I going to meet your best friend and his girlfriend at the same time? I did already meet Sasuke, but that was a long time ago in the hospital, so it doesn't really count. Plus, me and you were only friends back then, she said. As Naruto couldn't figure out a better way than double date to meet the both of them and they sit down and talk. As he sighed. Exactly, she said, it's going to happen. And as far as this competition go, we're more mature than that, aren't we, Naruto, she asked. Naruto nodded as she sat up on the counter, finished making Naruto's plate. I suppose you're right, Naruto said. Maybe it won't be so bad. I just have to remember, it's not a competition. No, there is a competition, she said. I'm just saying we're mature. And we're the best couple. We will win, she said. As Naruto smiled at hearing that, as he got a hungry look in his eyes. You hungry, she said. As Naruto looked at his breakfast. Well, not for that right now, but something else. I know you would say that. As she went in the jar and pulled out a can of whipped cream, as she sprayed it on different part of herself. Well then, have at it, she said. But guys, it'll be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part, if you already know what to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn the bell notifications stay posted. Remember, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also, stay tuned for What If Naruto's a Badass Genius. And also, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was Osusuke King. I post a new episode of that. And on this channel, I also post a new episode of What If Naruto pushed himself to his limits. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy as well, guys. And yeah, remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. But for now, I'm Motivator. See you guys soon. Peace.